What's happening, YouTube? I'm sure some of you out there have heard the old horror stories about Chrysler transmissions, right? Well, that's not the only horror story associated with Chrysler. These 3.6 liter Pentastars, notorious for rocker arm bearing problems. This one here's got a tick in it. It's pretty bad. It did start to miss for a while at one point. It's since quit missing, but the tick's still there. It's on the front bank, but we've got a lot of shit to tear off of here to get down there. This top cover actually just pops right off. It's got some little retainers there, grommets, whatever the hell you want to call them. But we've got to get the entire intake off. This hose has got to be pulled back. This has all got to come off. There's coil packs on top of the valve cover, spark plugs. I don't know if the plugs actually have to come out, but either way, we're going to tear in here and see about replacing a rocker arm or two. I do believe it's just one, judging by the sound. I put the stethoscope on it earlier. The Harbor Freight Mechanic stethoscope, same one I did the review on a while back, and from what I can tell, it's one, and it's front bank only. So that's where we're at. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so far, I took these plugs back here loose. They're all pretty self-explanatory as to where they go. They pop off pretty easy. Pinch them with your finger, flathead screwdriver. Pop those little retainers off. I got that hose here. It's going across here to your air box and the air boot off. I went ahead and pulled the top off of this just to check the filter. Filter's not too bad, so we're not going to bother with it. Next, we're going to come down here. I got to go get me a work light, but this little vacuum line here, or whatever this hose is. And then I do believe there's another small hose. I can't remember where the hell it was, but we'll find it in a minute. And we'll be getting down to the intake to the point where we can pop it off and actually get down to our valve cover. Okay, kids, if you look back here, you'll see this hole right here. Well, they got a fastener, plastic fastener. It goes through a rubber grommet, and there's a black pin that goes down the middle of that. You've got to get that black pin pulled out of there, and then it releases the rest of this. It spreads that open there, as you can see, when it's down in there, kind of like a drive pin you drive into concrete. But once you get that out of there, that'll pop right off, and you can just kind of shove it back out of the way. I'm not getting into the back bank on this one, so I don't really need to worry about going any further there or getting them. But if I wanted to, this would come all the way out right now. I've got one of the... It's got those little push-in, these same connectors that hold that top cover on. So once you get the one positive fastener out, the rest of it isn't too bad. But get that back out of the way. I got most of the intake bolts loose. I got one more, the one that was hidden by that right here, that's got to come out. And I think we're loose as far as the intake's concerned. Find out for sure here. But yeah, we're loose there. Something binding me up a little bit over here, so we'll have to figure that out. But you kind of just got to look around, make sure you got all your fasteners out of the way. Okay, if you look right back here, you got this bracket. Well, there's a 13 millimeter nut right down there. Try to point at it right down here. That's got to come off. Get that bracket out of the way before you can get this intake plenum off. So that's the next step. Got that off. I thought that was a nut. It actually wasn't. That's all one piece right there. So that's all got to come out before you can get the bracket off. But there's another hose hiding right back here tying in. We're going to have to get that split either here, here, somewhere in order to get the rest of this intake off. But other than that, intake's ready to pull. Well, y'all, we're going to have to take a short break. I just, yeah, I did a no-no. I was cutting that hose. I got me a brand new Smith Wesson knife the other night, and it slipped and came back towards me, and as y'all can see, yeah, we've got a mess. I wiped most of the blood off the motor. I can't feel the tip of my thumb at all, so I hit the nerve. I'll try to give you all a quick peek if I can, so you can see what we got going on here. But yeah, it's pretty deep. It's pretty bad. It got down in there good. So we're going to be taking a break. I'll finish this up once we get her stitched. Thank y'all. Well, y'all, here we sit in the hospital. You can see what we got going on here. It's pretty damn deep. Luckily, there was a bone there to stop it from taking my fucking thumb off. But anyway, we'll continue with the rocker arm repair tonight or tomorrow. Well, back from the hospital, 7 stitches later. Anyway, the good thing is the intake is off. It's sitting out of the way. We're down to just about the valve cover we need. They got this foam, I don't know what the fuck you want to call that, but yeah, it looks like a piece of furniture, like a furniture cushion. It's what the foam feels like to me. But they got that on there. So here's the valve cover that we need to get to. This is going to have to come off right here. All of these coil packs, all 3 of them. And then get this wire out of the way here. And then start popping valve cover bolts. And we should be good to go. Have the valve cover off in no time flat. And be able to find which rocker it is that's fuckered up. So, yeah. Okay, while I'm thinking about it here, see, I got the coil packs off. I got all the valve cover bolts loose. I have to say, Chrysler did a pretty good job on the engineering on this one. If you look here, you see some tools sitting here and there. What don't you see? Bolts. And I haven't put any trays or anything. They're all captive, so you don't have to worry about losing fasteners. Fucking genius in my opinion. But the issue you run into, this here was clipped in here with one of those little Christmas tree plastic plug deals, and this was up over the top of this bolt. Had to get all that up out of the way, and then this bracket right here, right in the fucking way of that bolt. So all I did was tapped it out a little bit and over. I'll tap it back over and in when the time comes. I just did it with that little ball peen. And now I should have room. For the record, this is a 2015 Chrysler Town Country minivan. Like I said earlier, had a pretty good tick in it. And started missing at one point. Quit missing for the most part, although it will idle rough from time to time. These are all 8mm. Pretty much everything except for the coil packs have been 8mm thus far. Every bolt I've touched. I've got 2 sockets out plus a Torx. I got the 8mm. I got the 10mm that I use for the coil packs. And then, see if you guys can see right here, a T30. And that was for this sensor right here that goes down into the valve cover. So that's where we're at so far. Okay, on these plugs, you guys probably ought to know, these are long-winded as fuck. So you're going to think, why is this thing not coming out? Well, that's why. I used a 5/8 actual spark plug socket. It's got the rubber in it. It makes them easier to pull out. I got 2 of them out, 1 to go. These are in not so great shape. I mean, they're not burnt too bad, but probably be replacing at least these front 3. Okay, guys, well, here it is. I already got my bandage all fuckered up, but no sludge really to speak of inside that valve cover. As my buddy AVE would say, not teabag. If anybody watching happens to know how to tell him, he's always saying cut towards your thumb, not towards your chum. Well, as you guys saw, I definitely did. But anyway, here's where we're at. Now, I knew this thing was going to be on cylinder 6, so I knew it was front bank. I knew I could hear it more in the front bank listening to it with Steph. I get it open. You start looking at all these rockers. Let me get some more light so you guys can see a little better. Start seeing these rockers down in here, and they all feel real good. I mean, they're solid. None of them got any give to them. There ain't no tap coming from there, right? Well, not till you get to right here. Can y'all see this? Hear that? There's our lifter tap right there. Doesn't appear to have fucked the cam journal up too bad. Yeah, it kind of did. She's a little flat back here. Yeah, it's fucked that cam journal all up. We're probably going to have to put a cam in this, guys, real soon. Wonder how much a cam is for this motor. You see that? It's wore right through it. I mean, I'll try to file some of them high spots off, or I might just say fuck it and leave it. I bought extra rockers. See if it works itself out, but we're probably going to need a cam real soon. See what it did there? Try to get you a little better light. Let her go a little too long, didn't we, kids? Yeah, well, that lobe is that on the flat? Can't really tell where the lobe of that cam is, to be honest. That is the lobe, I do believe. Surely they wouldn't be aligned, would they? Yeah, I guess they would. These are identical. These are identical. These are too. Yeah. We got us a bit of a cam issue. Well, guys, it's the next day. I did file some of that burr off the cam. I can't afford a new cam right now, so this is going to have to do. I'm guessing that valve's not really going to open at all, so the ticking problem should be fixed, but we're probably still going to idle a little rough and maybe miss a bit because only one of those valves is opening fully anyway. We'll see once we get it fired up. But getting this valve cover back on, you can see I'm wearing a glove to keep the wound covered, but valve cover going back on was a bit of a trick. There's just a lot of shit in the way, so take your time, get it down in there good before you start tightening everything down. I didn't torque the valve cover. I went by feel, and it's pretty easy to tell when to stop, truthfully. They're not too spongy. They don't feel too bad. But got the coil packs back in. They're just sitting there. I think I actually got to pull this one loose. Nope, that bolts down inside. So this cap here, this sensor. Anyway, hasn't been too bad, really. If you've never been, deep into something mechanically like this, I probably wouldn't recommend trying this yourself. But if you take your time, you research, you investigate, it's really not that bad. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure this shit out. Pay attention to your torque specs and make sure you torque stuff in order as far as your cam caps and that kind of thing's concerned. It's not a big deal. I mean, people make this stuff out to be fucking magic or something, and it's really not. I mean, it's mechanics. It's not that. I mean, is it complicated? Yeah. But if you've got some mechanical ability and some common sense, you can figure this stuff out and save yourself a lot of money. I mean, yeah, I work on, important, expensive mechanical shit every day. CNC machines and robots and that kind of thing, but there's only so many different types of mechanisms, and every machine is just a collection of mechanisms. So take your time, do your fucking research, and learn something. Do this shit yourself if you can, man. It's good for you. It really is. Get your hands dirty, people. Nobody does that enough anymore. And I understand vehicles have gotten harder to work on with the computers and everything today, but things like this, you can do this, guys. You really can. I mean, message me anytime you want with questions on anything like this. I'll gladly help you out. Throw it in the comments, But You know, do this shit yourself. Change your own fucking oil, for Christ's sake. It's not that hard. It's really not. You guys got this. But as far as the harder parts of this, getting the valve cover out was a bitch, just because there's so much stuff in the way. Getting the valve cover back in was just as much of a bitch, because there's so much stuff in the way. But the hardest part about this is getting all the stuff out of the way to get to what you got to work on. The engineers have tried to squeeze as much stuff they can into a tight space these days. It's what they have to do in order to make these vehicles, and I get that. But as I said earlier, they actually did something right here. The captive bolts, you don't have to worry about losing bolts. The only bolts I had to keep an eye on was the actual cam cap bolts. Other than that, everything's been captive on this whole project, which is fucking awesome, man, I have to say. Smart engineering there. Okay, guys, well, here we have it. It's all back together. Everything's plugged back in. Looks good. Time to see what she sounds like, huh? I guess we'll fire this bitch up and see if we did a good job or a bad job. Well, guys, it runs. Seems to be running quite well. Still got a distinct tick, but it ain't the same tick we had before. I'm not sure if that's coming from the rear bank, another rocker, or if it's something else. But either way, it runs better. It's not missing. It used to miss real bad. It's not doing that anymore, so we at least fixed part of the problem. Appreciate you guys tuning in and watching me damn near cut my fucking thumb off. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. I got a cool review coming up here next few days, week or so. I picked this bad sumbitch up from eBay, 155 bucks. New oscilloscope. It's USB, Wi-Fi. You can use it with a phone. You can use it with a laptop. Any of that. I mean, I've done a little research on it. Appears to be pretty badass. I'm anxious to tear it open and see what's going on. We'll unbox it and hook it up together and see how she chooches. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it greatly. Like, subscribe. Be back soon. Peace out.